second guess yourself to the nth degree, but it's not really going to help you at the moment. You may feel like there's a sense of urgency to your situation, but really a lot of the restlessness and uneasiness that you're feeling inside yourself is really just mentally created by yourself at the present moment. So what's at the root of all of this? You've allowed yourself to become, for lack of a better way to put it, disconnected. You've lost touch with those things that inspire you. And that's not so hard to do, because when you're dealing with things that are depressing, when you're dealing with things that make you feel like you've got a huge weight on your shoulder, it's quite easy to feel lethargic. It's quite easy to feel lost. It's quite easy to feel exhausted. And at those moments, that's when we usually find ourselves in a position where we're criticizing ourselves for past actions. We're judging ourselves for things that we've done wrong. And then all levels of trust, all levels of self-trust just go poof out the window. You're disconnected rather than just being able to allow the answers to come to you. You find yourself in a position where you're searching. Then when something comes to the surface, you're going over it with a fine-tooth comb. You're analyzing it. You're going, okay, but I did that before and that didn't work out. And what if that happens again? And what if that leads me in this direction, which was what happened before? And I don't really want any of that to happen again. Well, just stop. Just stop. Okay, so at the moment, when you're looking at the situation, or maybe I should say situations that you're dealing with, what does your inspiration tell you that you would most like to do about this situation? And I know what you're saying. You're going, yeah, but I can't trust my inspiration because I trusted that before. And look, things just went horribly wrong. Well, maybe they didn't go perfectly right, but maybe that wasn't a mistake at all. Maybe it wasn't meant to happen that way. Maybe that series of actions that you found yourself in, which seemed like they were something that you didn't want to go through, were completely necessary so that you could be in this present moment now, so that you could regain trust in yourself, right? Because sometimes, in order to have a more solid foundation, we have to go to the root of what is wrong with that foundation. You've already done that. You don't need to keep doing that. You don't need to carry it on endlessly. You've taken a look. You've understood what was wrong. You've made the necessary changes. You've held yourself back from doing things that were wrong, right? You've learned from your mistakes. And so just because you've made mistakes in the past and things, well, they weren't even really mistakes. They were just actions that kind of led to a series of events. It doesn't mean that now that you've kind of taken a look at what you might have been able to do better, that you need to continue to mistrust yourself. As a matter of fact, at the present moment, you need to trust yourself more. You need to reconnect. But the problem is you've allowed yourself to become so off-centered from the source of who you are. Sure, you know, we can definitely analyze ourselves and go, right, well, who I was in the past didn't serve my situation. So I had to make some changes, but you don't throw every single aspect of yourself out the window. You don't go, okay, well, you know, that was wrong, so I just have to completely revamp everything. No, somewhere within there was a lot of good, right? And you lost touch with that. Just because following your hunches in one moment led you to what was seemingly the wrong set of circumstances. Maybe it wasn't the wrong set of circumstances. Maybe it was just an unfortunate outcome that you needed to learn some lessons from because you were somewhere incomplete in your learning, right? It doesn't mean it was wrong. You just needed some events to come along to help you to grow stronger. It wasn't so much that you needed to completely doubt yourself. It was just that you needed to take a look at how you weren't serving yourself, right? That way you could reconnect. That way you could, I want to use the word, even though it's probably not a word, redevelop trust within yourself, right? So sometimes we have to, like I said before, we have to tear everything down so we can build it back up again, right? But it doesn't mean that we throw the cornerstone away. We don't throw the cornerstone away. We have to remember the source of who we are. Somewhere beneath all that confusion, somewhere beneath all that sense of feeling lost, somewhere beneath all of that, you remember. And the best way to reconnect with that at the moment is to not look for answers to your situation from something that is outside of yourself. Look for it from within yourself. If you're having a hard time doing that, spend some time with yourself, reconnecting with yourself. Spend some time in nature. Allow yourself to be nourished. Look at the sun, right? Look at the wildlife all around you. Look at how you might have disconnected with all of that. And if you've disconnected with all of that, chances are you've disconnected equally with yourself. And if you've disconnected with yourself, chances are you've disconnected with all of that. And so, getting out in nature is a really good thing to do for that. If you can't get out in nature, just stop for a moment. Reconnect. Remember, don't get all caught up in the clutter up in your mind, right? Allow yourself to just stop for a moment and remember. That may seem like a confusing thing to do, but I promise you, if you allow yourself a moment to do that without judgment, without scrutiny, without criticism, something will come to you. If you're interested in scheduling with me, perhaps with a little bit of assistance with reconnecting, you can do so through the link above. That's going to do it for this look at the new moon in Dhanishtha Nakshatra on the 4th of February 2019. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.